Hello, everyone. This is Arena 36 Plus on Hills Television, Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Collins Veshima. On the show today, we shall be taking a look at some big issues that have been trending in the polity in view of the state of the race for 2027 general elections in Nigeria. If you don't go away, I'll be right back after this. You're welcome back. Like I said earlier, we would be taking a look at the state of the polity, and on set with me today to do this, I have a guest, and he is a former ADP governorship aspirant in Anambra State. He is also an ADC chieftain. When I say ADC, I mean the Alliance for Democratic Congress, the coalition that has come around to ensure that the sitting president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is pushed out of power. I have known that Honorable Nonso Okeke. He also worked with former Vice President Professor Yemi Osibanjo. Honorable Nonso Okeke, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, my very good friend VC Collins. I'm pleased to be here, and good afternoon, Nigerians.
Well, it's good to have you on set. So what does it feel like popping up in our studios so we can have this nation-building conversation?
Well, I'll gladly always lend my voice to nation building because, once you are possessed with this nation building spirit, you just keep talking and talking and talking. You see yourself talking, and if that's all we can do, so that when we return back to our maker, we'll be able to say, yes, this is what I contributed on earth. So we're not going to be tired of Nigeria until we get it right.
Oh, until we get it right. So let's hit it off quickly. Are you saying we haven't gotten it right with Nigeria as a nation state?
Certainly, all the indices are pointing towards that, VC Collins. 133 million of us are in poverty already. And you can see high cost of living staring everybody in the face. You can see insecurity that signifies a failed system. As a matter of fact, it's enough to withdraw the social contract. But because Nigerians have a resilience, we just keep pushing and hoping that we get it right. So summarily, all is not well with Nigeria, basically.
Talk to me about the ADC coalition built up in view of the 2027 general elections. Yes, actually, the build-up came about in this year, and it's in view of the presidential polls. Why the coalition right now? Why are they coming up to unseat the sitting president? Because it is a clear demand and objective of this coalition.
VC Collins, as a student of politics, when you talk about political parties, it's all about alignments, realignments, mergers, acquisitions, coalitions. But at this time, we're looking at a coalition. And what has happened didn't happen this year. We had series of meetings going on for over 18 months. on how best we are to rescue this country. And when that decision was taken, came out swiftly, fixed our day for the launching of the coalition. Some group of persons went to the venue where we are supposed to hold this coalition meeting, somewhere in Asokoro, and in fact threatened the hotel where we are supposed to hold this coalition arrangements. And immediately we mobilized under 2 hours. I went to Sheikh Musa Yaradua Center. And I'm sure you are there to testify that Nigerians are hungry for this coalition, because under 2 hours, nobody could see where to sit down in Sheikh Musa Yaradua Center. Nobody saw parking space there. So under 2 hours that the hotel was threatened, by, I think FCT officials or whoever threatened them, we couldn't, we moved swiftly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, why are you moving swiftly as an opposition front to unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Well, from all indications, VC Collins, 2 years and 10 years, 2 years of the Bola Tinubu administration and 10 years of the APC administration is a failed arrangement, despite the promises that have been given to us.
When you say it's a failed arrangement, how do you mean exactly?
Yeah, the same coalition is what brought them in here. Okay. And they promised Nigerians heaven and earth. Somebody, a one-time governor of Lagos State, was telling us that under 6 months, that power, he was going to fix the power sector. And he was made the power minister in the 8 years of the Buhari's government. But rather than fixing the power, I'm talking about Babatunde Raji Fashola, rather than fixing that power system, we know where we are today. Our megawatts has further dropped. What are we talking about? Insecurity. VC Collins is no longer news that people die in Nigeria, just like a daily affairs. We don't have value for human lives again because we have failed in terms of security. From Borno to Benue to Enugu to Oyo State to Owo, everywhere is witnessing their own fair share. To Plateau, everywhere is witnessing insecurity. VC Collins, the cost of living is very high. Inflation has eaten up the value of Naira. You go to market, your wife goes to market, you have people that go to market. This is not the Nigeria of our dreams. Our founding father didn't wish us this. After 75 years, we are still struggling as a nation, as a sleeping giant of Africa. VC Collins, I think APC have tried, and want to tell them that 2027, the coalition will have to take over.
Yeah, talking about the fact that it is a failed government we have right now. We have members of the coalition force who were part of the coalition in 2015 against the then President Goodluck Jonathan. And today we still have many of those members who were part of that coalition that actually unseated the ruling party then in this coalition again. What is the guarantee that this time around they are not going to be dissatisfied again? Would this not mean that they are never able to put their acts together as a political class to salvage Nigeria out of the woods?
Well, these same persons were partly or majorly, they played key roles in unseating the Goodluck Jonathan's administration. But they had sincere motives while they were doing that. Okay. From the arrangement and from the manifestos that the APC government sold to most of them, they came in and saw that this is not, it's no longer the manifesto playing out. Where's the 3 million job that Bola Tinubu told us when he was campaigning for Buhari? Every year we're told that 3 million jobs will come on stream. But here we are, where over 50% of Nigerian graduates have nothing to do. You see, Colin, hunger is staring Nigerians in the face now. Honestly. And I must say that I commend the tenacity of Nigerians in still being able to bear this kind of pains that we are going through. So this coalition, in summary, I've looked at, no, this is not the manifesto we agreed upon. And, John Locke said that, every citizen has the right to withdraw his social contract. Thomas Hobbes, rather, that every citizen has his right to withdraw from the social contract. What do you mean by social contract? We came and gave the Bola Tinubu and Buhari, we gave them our right. We gave them our right to lead us to the promised land. But it's not what we are saying.
Okay.
So if the El-Rufai or if the Amechis or if the Rahuv have withdrawn from the APC this thing, then it means that the manifesto was not they are not seeing a manifestation of the manifesto. And I think Nigerians should give them kudos for that, for standing up for the truth. To say no, enough is enough. Let us try out another coalition again to see how we can salvage this country.
The gladiators you have in this coalition, like Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, former Senate President David Mark, and Nasir El-Rufai with Rotimi Amechi and Ralph Aregbesola, have all been in power. And it is not just that they have been in power before. Would you score them excellent in delivering good governance when they were in power?
I will start with the national chairman of our great party, ADC, retired General David Bonaventure Mark. We all know his antecedents in National Assembly. A very bold and brave man who, against all odds, activated the doctrine of necessity and said, no, we can't run this country like a secret court. Where is the president? If the president is not around, then the vice should take over. And he stood firmly, and that gave birth to the popular doctrine of necessity that brought in Goodluck Jonathan into power. So, looking at somebody like David Bonaventure Mark, I don't think we should say we don't know that ADC has been taken over by credible men. Are you going to talk about Rotimi Amechi? A detribalized Nigeria. The only Nigeria that doesn't know bounds and tribes. As a transportation minister, we all witnessed the stretch of railway he has on from Kaduna to Kano to Maradi in Niger. Are you talking of Rauf Aregbesola? The first man to introduce the school feeding program in Nigeria, and still being maintained by all the past governors of Osun State. Look, I'm not praising these guys, but so far so good. They've done well in the little time they've been at the helms of affairs.
But the presidency has come out to saying that it is because these gladiators have fallen out of favor with the Tinubu presidency, out of power. That's why they are ganging up to unseat him just for the sake of power grabbing. What's your angle to this?
VC Collins, does El-Rufai look like a hungry man? Does Rahuv
But he failed the ministerial test when Tinubu sent his name to the National Assembly.
No. Politics just played out. Politics just played out. El-Rufai is somebody who is outspoken. I know if El-Rufai was in the Senate today, probably what happened in Rivers State wouldn't have happened. Remember, El-Rufai stood up against Buhari during the Naira redesign. Despite people looking at El-Rufai as Buhari's boy. But El-Rufai said, no. You cannot allow the country you can't allow hunger to kill the people. He dragged the presidency to the Supreme Court. So that kind of man does not hide from saying the truth.
Well, others have said that it is because Rotimi Amechi didn't make it through the primaries of APC, and since then he's been disenchanted, and he's working just because, like the presidency said, they hate Tinubu. That's why they are ganging up against him.
Well, VC Collins, what was there primaries in the first place? Was there primaries? We heard rumors of what happened there, where dollars were being shared, millions and billions of dollars. El-Rufai came second, according to what they told us.
Rotimi Amechi.
Rotimi Amechi came second in the primaries, according to what they told us. And if that being the case, and we knew what happened, that it was not a primary that was held in APC, then Rotimi came first. But that's a story for another day. So what I'm saying is that Rotimi is somebody that is on ground and is not a baby politician.
Yeah, we have another big gladiator in former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and His Excellency Peter Obi, the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate. They are all in this coalition. And Peter Obi came out saying categorically that he's disposed to a single-term presidency, that once he gets into power after a term as the president, he would hand over power to the North. But some northern politicians came kicking that it may not fly. And some have been of the opinion that that smacks of desperation from Peter Obi, that he shouldn't have even talked about a one-term presidency. What's your angle to this?
VC Collins, you and I know that after the Supreme Court judgment for Edo State, so many people felt so bad. Because I'm not a PDP member, but I monitored that election closely. And I think PDP did better and was supposed to take the day. But when we saw that judgment further made people become tired of the system. Why am I giving you this background? That people are becoming tired day by day, voters' apathy. And that's a very dangerous signal for democracy. So, but for somebody like Peter Obi, who has given a one-term proposal, he's offering hope to Nigerians, whom he knows everybody, 80% of Nigerians are all tired. And he's very consistent in what he's telling us, from consumption to production. This is a man who has traveled around the world. 3 days ago, we were with him somewhere at Transcorp. After the meeting we had with him, in the next 2 hours, I was looking at my phone. I saw the man moving around in Imo State. Lizzie Collins, in the evening, I saw him in Kano of the same day. I said, what manner of man is this? Where are you deriving this strength from? But again, that is what we need from a leader.
Okay.
A leader who is mobile and ready to move to everywhere. So a one-time proposal, he has even said that under two years, he will stabilize Nigeria. So if you are able to stabilize Nigeria under 2 years, then they remain 2 years.
Are you not worried that it is just for the sake of getting into power that he's come up with this proposal, just so that the northern political bloc would give him their backing?
Well, it's not necessarily so, VC Collins. Everybody knows the 3 R's of Nigeria: reconstruction, rebuilding, and what is the other one? After the agreement, after the Civil War. And part of the agreement was that Nigeria will run a power-sharing government. We are going to be sharing power between the North and the South. That was part of the agreement that doused the situation. So that power sharing arrangement is what is still obtainable till today. And of course, Nigeria is a cosmopolitan state, and that power sharing is what we have been into. So if a Peter Obi, who knows that somebody from the south has taken 4 years and is offering to take 4 years, the remaining 4 years, then I think he's a compassionate politician. He's somebody who understands that power sharing arrangement. So it's not sweet talking anybody that is taking 4 years.
Do you think this proposal will sit down with a gladiator like a former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who has been in the race consistently for the presidency?
Well, head or tail, I love that man Atiku Abubakar. A detribalized Nigeria who got married to my sister from Onitsha and got married from the west and got married from the north. But I think Atiku will surprise everybody. Why do I say Atiku will surprise everybody? Atiku will become very, very popular in history for his role in this coalition. Mark me. And at the end of the day, we will say that Atiku has attained the status of an elder statesman like Goodluck Jonathan. Because there are prevailing forces who is talking to Atiku now. And Atiku is listening to it. So I don't think Atiku is a difficult person that we cannot prevail on. So let the best candidate go. It's good to aspire for the position of the presidency. But I think at this point, we need to sit down.
When you say the best candidate, how exactly do you mean? Is it about a regional candidate or a candidate who has got it in terms of delivering good governance?
Well, I will not deny my background from the Labour Party background. And I keep telling people that man, P2B, I've been studying that man. This is a man that is in touch with the elites and the talakawas, the have-nots of the society. He has that link between them. I think more than every other member of the coalition. So this is what is actually needed at this point. We have to be sincere to ourselves. But again, I know that David Mark will create a fair level ground for everybody. So come up and we'll see who flies the flag at the end of the day. So we are confident and we are very optimistic that at the end of the day, the best candidate will emerge.
Yes, before now, we've been having a crisis in the opposition political parties. And many of the times when this happens, members of the opposition political parties have been accusing fingers at the ruling party for destabilizing these political parties in opposition. It was on record even that the president of the country, whilst addressing a joint session of the National Assembly, mentioned that it gives him great joy to see the opposition political parties in disarray. Now, we have a situation in the APC at the recent book launch of former AGF, Attorney General of the Federation, Adoke, where the Vice President came out saying that it was for Adoke's intervention that the former President Goodluck Jonathan did not suspend him as a sitting governor of Borno State. With that, is he insinuating that the suspension of the Rivers State governor by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is preposterous, or it's out of place, it's absurd, it's unconstitutional? And why would he come out to saying this now when he is serving in this presidency? Could it be because of the recent crisis they had at the APC Northeastern Congress, where some members did not acknowledge him as the sitting vice president? Could this mean they have crisis there too? And would this be giving those of you who are in the opposition coalition against the sitting president great joy?
Well, will you say it's giving us great joy? Yeah, we have unconfirmed reports that Labour Party had infiltrators within. And those infiltrators have made sure that Labour Party didn't see the light of the day. We have the Minister of FCT who taught Nigerians another style of politics, whereby he's a PDP member and he's working for the APC. So when these things happen, let us always have the history that what goes around comes around. For me, Vice President Shetima is just only being sincere. VC Collins, what happened in Rivers State? Did one person die? No, tell me, compared to Benue State, who deserves the state of emergency? Is it because Rivers State is a PDP state? What is happening in Borno State? Is it not 10 times of what is happening? Did we record one loss of life in Rivers State to warrant a state of emergency? When we are doing these things, we think it doesn't count. It counts. For me, VP Shetima will be remembered in history for saying the truth. Yeah. So what VP Shetima has said is just the simple truth. That the presidency had no rights to even chase away a councillor, left alone a sitting governor of a state. VC Collins, this is not a banana republic. And I want to tell the House of Reps and the Senate today that they are going to answer to this that they have done to Nigerians in due time. Because certainly, that state of emergency was not necessary. A Bukola-led Senate wouldn't have done that. A late Chuba Kadibo-led Senate wouldn't have done that. Critical question would have been asked. Does this state of emergency, does it deserve to happen? It didn't deserve. Rivers State is a very peaceful state. So I think the implosion coming in APC is all about, Shetima saying the truth. And we know that so many other issues will come up within that party because there are strange beds there and they are beginning to see. VC Collins, failure is failure. Failure is failure. APC has failed. They can't continue like that. We can't continue like this. So within them, we're expecting that more implosions will come in very due time.
Okay, Shetima is a statesman from what you are, from the inference I would make from your delivery. And he said, El-Rufai cannot be ignored in power tussle. But he was the sitting vice president when El-Rufai was sent to the National Assembly and he failed the ministerial test. Are you not worried that the intervention of Shetima at that time would have been apt? And why? Saying El-Rufai cannot be ignored now.
VC College, we witness a Shetima who doesn't even act so much when the president is out of the country. Who seems to be sidelined in the scheme of things. So what he has said, he knows El-Rufai very well. You can't neglect El-Rufai in permutations and coalitions and measures like this. He's an expert in it. So praise be to God, VC Collins, that El-Rufai fell out with them for our own advantage. And we believe it's going to work well for the coalition. Because if there was no El-Rufai, maybe it would have been a challenge to us. So praise be to God that El-Rufai fell out with them. And we believe, El-Rufai has said, if this is his last assignment that he will achieve politically, so be it. And I believe it will be achieved come 2027.
Yeah, you're still on to Arena 36 Plus on Hills Television, Abuja, Nigeria. I have a guest on set with me who is dissecting the issues in the news with the state of the policy. State of the polity exactly with the state of the race in view of the 2027 presidential polls in Nigeria. He is Honorable Nonso Okeke, a former governorship aspirant of ADP in Anambra State, and he is an ADC chieftain. And we have been talking about those issues that pertain nation building. If you don't go away, we'll be right back after this. You're welcome back. Like I said earlier, I have Honorable Nonso Okeke on set with me, an ADC chieftain, and we have been talking about the state of the polity with the coalition build up against the ruling party in Nigeria. Yes, let's get this quickly. Now that the coalition is here, what is it that the coalition has differently from what the ruling party has for Nigeria? That is the ADC as a chieftain.
Well, for those who don't know how this coalition was formed, retired General David Mark stands for the North Central. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar stands for the Northeast. P2B Southeast. And Rotimi Amici South-South. Rahuf Areboshola stands for the Southwest. And Malam Nasir El-Rufai stands for the Northwest. This coalition is a coalition of like minds. And I took time to run the achievements of most members of this coalition. So even at the end of the day, whoever comes out to be the presidential candidate of that coalition, the agreement is that it's going to be a win-win situation for all. Those are people that we have tested their reigns when they were in the different positions of ministers and governors. In fact, P2B was asked, what's your security architecture for Nigeria? He said, no, he's not going to discuss that with anybody. But he was so sure of himself that under a few months, insecurity will be a thing of the past in Nigeria. Why do I say so? This is a man that is so concerned about going back to farm. If you watch most of his speech, he's always doing comparative analysis between countries, where he has visited. And most of those comparative analysis, he does it with the northern Nigeria in terms of landmass. So that shows a man that, is driven by production. A man that is driven by ideas. So this coalition, VC Collins, is loaded. The other time I told you that insecurity, there are complications in this insecurity. And why do I say so? I've given you an example of a former president of a former military man in Sri Lanka, General Rajapaksa. This man became a president of Sri Lanka, and there is this rebel group that has spent 26 years, Tamil Tigers, terrorizing Sri Lanka. And immediately this man came to power, he brought the budget of Sri Lanka, he divided it into two, and pumping half of the budget into defense. VC Collins, Tamil Tiger of 26 years became a thing of the past under 6 months. So these things are commitment. We cannot continue playing with human life. Look at the Alliance for Sahelian States, how they are faring. The young boy from Burkina Faso said, give me 2 years to see what I can do. After 2 years, he said, yes, I've tried my best in trying to stabilize your country. Let us now run an election. And the people came out and said, what are you talking about? What elections are you talking about? Stay there and let us understand what we are going to do with this country. It means that they are happy with the young man. So this things show you that leadership, the problem of Nigeria is bad leadership. We can't have a president who keeps junketing everywhere, traveling to St. Lucia, a country of about, the analysis, they say it's not up to a lorry. St. Lucia is not up to a lorry. What are you going to do there? Are you a member of BRICS? What are you going to do in BRICS? When the house is on fire here, you are going up and down. Basically, it's high time we must begin to take governance very serious. And these things are very easy. Watch out our manifesto of ADC in a few months to come. And you see that these manifestos are very straight to the point. Under the 4 years proposal that we are making, Nigeria will move to a second world nation. That's the assurance I'm giving to Nigerians now. And that is, please, I'm on TV talking to Nigerians. Please, the voters registration commences in August. Please and please, let us use our last strength to go, and those that don't have voters card, please go and get voters card. With the strategy we have in ADC, votes will count. It will count. Thank you.
Yeah. What would you want to be remembered for now that you are into participatory politics?
VC Collins, I've always known that someday God will raise us and put us in place of leadership where we'll be able to show that leadership is all about humanity. It's all about the people. Not this kind of politics that we are seeing in Nigeria. VC Collins, if I open my WhatsApp message for you, over 40 appeals, 50 appeals every day. And most of these appeals come from graduates. As little as 20,000, 10,000 assistants. VC Collins, how did we get here? How did we get to a country where graduates cannot get jobs? How did we get to a country where Yahoo has become the order of the day? How do we get to a country? The other day I was in farmers market. I was passing through farmers market. Farmers market is somewhere around my town. I saw young men somewhere around the IG's house there. I was wondering, anybody who knows farmers market and knows the IG, you always see young men there. And when I approach further, these are young men in Kuwait embassy. They are looking for visa. Men, women there, gathered in thousands there. They are looking for Kuwait visa. Trying to leave the country. VC Collins, is this what our founding fathers wish for us? That after 65 years, we will still be running from pillar to post? With a president who cannot say the age, or who can't even say where the manifesto clearly. I mean, VC Collins, as a young man, I wouldn't want my maker to ask me, what did you do on earth? Because I gave you the voice, I gave you the talent. As a young man, I will be remembered for making impact in Nigeria. And that impact, we are not going to run away. It's our country. We will stay here till the end. We will not leave it and run away. And I want to tell all of you, leaving the country, going out of the country is good, but I mean, who is going to fix the country? We all have to. Nigeria is the only country we have. So we have to join hands to fix this country. Thank you.
You ran for the governorship of Anambra State. Are you still considering a shot again at public office?
VC Collins, I was very young when I attempted Anambra State, and I know I was not a money-backed politician. I was not that Abuja aeroplane politician. I was not a billionaire. But because of the anger in my spirit, I stood up one day around 5 p.m. I told my driver, let's go. He said, where are we going, Oga? I said, we are going to Anambra. And my wife was looking at me. He said, are you mad? I said, yes, I'm mad about the situation of the country. We left Abuja around 5 p.m. when that inspiration came. And since then, we have made sure that it is work in progress. By the grace of God, we'll be giving a shot in the Abuja Municipal Area Council this time. And I know that my flag bearer there, Dr. Moses Paul, is someone that will take our mark to the next level. We are working closely with him to see that by the grace of God, he takes over Area 10 by 2026 February. So whether I will participate in politics, yes, I'm in active politics. And by the grace of God, we'll get into an elective position very soon.
All right. Thank you very much for coming through on the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so much. I hope that the next time we come back on you would oblige us the moment again to be on Arena 36 Plus.
Certainly, VC Collins. I always enjoy your program because they are direct to the point, and you don't hide views like maybe some other stations that hide views. Nigeria is in trouble. And one thing I like Arena 36 is that you hit the point. No matter who gets angry. This is a democracy we are running. We need to say things as they are. People are no longer happy in Nigeria. So anytime you need me, please call on me. I'll be here.
Thank you very much. That's the much we can take on Arena 36 Plus today with our guest, Honorable Nonso Okeke, an ADC chieftain, and he said it all. God bless your souls. Once again, it's been Collins Veshima. Bye for now.